Hello, and welcome to the first part of what's going to be a very big project. I am drawing in this picture the character Keyleth, who is done by Marisha Ray in the D&D group Critical Role. If you haven't heard of them, it's a bunch of voice actors that play Dungeons and Dragons. It's really funny. And they have fun and they do this cool story and like you get emotional but it's great. But like I said, Keyleth is done by Marisha Ray, who's, she's been, like all the other ones, she's been in a ton of things. I'm sure there's at least one thing that everybody knows her from, just like everyone else in the group. The rest of the group includes Matthew Mercer, who's the Dungeon Master, and there's Taliesin Jaffe, who does Human Gunslinger Percy, Liam O'Brien, who does a half-elf rogue named Vaxel Dawn, Laura Bailey, who does the sister character to Liam's character, Vaxelia, who's a ranger, Travis Willingham, who does a Goliath Grog Strongjaw, words. And there's Sam Regal, who does Scanlan Shortholt, who's a gnome bard. He did. And Ashley Johnson, who does Pike Trickfoot, who's also a gnome and a cleric. That's the main cast. They have a bunch of guests come on and stuff like that. And at the beginning of the series, they do have one other person, Conan O'Brien, who does the sorcerer dragonkin. I think it's a sorcerer. I'm not going to be drawing that character just because where I am in the series, that character is no longer there. So I'm doing the characters just from where I am, basically. The Critical Role cast themselves are actually on a second campaign, so these characters are technically done. But I wanted to draw these characters because these are the ones that I'm watching right now. But I do plan on starting to watch the second campaign in between watching the first campaign. And once I'm done drawing the characters from the first campaign, I am actually going to go through and draw the characters from the second campaign. But my plan is to, once I get everyone done, to print out posters and actually send it to them so they can have them. Because they do this thing called a Christmas where fans can send in stuff and they open it and then they have it and it's really cool. Yeah, the plan is I'm going to do everyone individually, like I'm doing here, and then once I have everyone done, I'm going to take them out of the environment I've put them in and put them all in a group shot. And then send that as well. So I started with Keyleth just because how I have the group shot set up in my head. She's on the far left, and then I'm just gonna kind of go from left to right. Keyleth's character is interesting. She's not my favorite, I will say that. I do like her, but she's not my favorite. There are moments where I kind of like, really? But at the same time I sorta get the reasoning behind the action. But Keyleth is an Erishari. She's a half-elven druid. And she's going on this quest thing called the Aramente, where she has to go to all the other Ashari tribes and take trials in order to become the leader of her tribe. And her people watch over the rips in the different planes between the elemental planes and the regular plane. And during her Aramente, she ended up meeting the rest of the group, which goes by Vox Machina. And then they just basically get sucked into a bunch of shit. But she is really fun. She's really socially awkward. She gets in trouble a lot when she tries to talk. It's really funny. But she has some really good moments. She does tend to get a little over emotional. But yeah. Other than that, Keyleth's a really good character. The design that I'm drawing, I wanted to kind of mix in the costume Marisha wore when she was dressed as Keyleth, and then the design that Kit Buzz, who is like one of their official artists, drew. One of the big things that I was playing with was the staff. At first I was just kind of mimic what Kit Buzz did, just alter it a little bit, and I was like, well, I'm gonna mix, since the physical one that Marisha has is so different, I wanted to mix them and then just kind of add my own flavor. So instead of having the big dry looking vine that Kit Buzz drew, I did the green ivy and then altered the shape of the staff from what the one Marisha has, and just add in little elements from both of them, such as like the bone and the gem. When I was adding in the leaves and the flowers, I wasn't originally gonna put an outline around them, and then I was like, kind of looks out of place, so I put a really loose outline. I'm like, yeah, that fits better, so it's a little bit more cohesive, even though I use like a specific brush in order to get the design for it. It still looks like it's part of the picture rather than just stuck on top of it. I will say, I haven't gotten to it in the video yet, but I do actually kind of like my background more than I like what I did with Keyleth herself. After I ended up doing little fixes on Keyleth, I like her a lot better, just because she looks a little bit less awkward. But I'm still really happy with my background, comparatively. So, yeah, I'm on episode 49 of like 120 for just the first campaign alone. They're trying to fight a bunch of dragons. It's fun. But yeah, it's gonna be a long project. It's gonna be hard, but I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to be doing Scanlan next. Scanlan is the gnome bard who thinks he's just such a hot shot. But he's actually a really great character. Scanlan's actually probably one of my favorite characters. In order, I should probably like Vax, then Scanlan, and Pike, then Vex and Keyleth are kind of tied with Grog. They're all kind of like on the same level. Like, I don't have like a last place. They're all just kind of like in the middle. And then some of the guest characters that come on are pretty awesome. Really happy with my water. Really happy with my stones. Yeah, put a link in my description to the first episode of Critical Role, just so you guys don't have to search for it if you want to go and check it out. It is a great thing to have playing while you're, you know, drawing yourself, or just, you know, for background noise, just something to have going. I watch it while I draw, or just listen to it while I'm playing games. Each episode's like 4 hours long though, so be prepared for that. But I've managed to get to episode almost 50 in about a month and a half. So, yeah, if you're drawing 8 hours a day, that's about 2 episodes a day, so if you're watching it while you're drawing, kind of. I'm just kind of talking now. I was actually impressed with how I got my fire, because I'm normally really bad at drawing fire. I mean, it's still not the greatest looking fire in the world, but it's not bad. I think the sky is the only thing I don't like about my background. I was trying to make it look like it was mid-sunrise, like not early sunrise, but like it's up over the edge, but it's still sunrise. And I don't know. I mean, it's okay. But yeah, before I end up actually printing them out and finalizing them and sending them in, I am probably going to do touch-ups. Just alter little things here and there, because I feel like I made this one really busy. And I almost made it even more busy, because I had originally planned to have like the elements around her, and then have the image of her eagle form and her tiger form just kind of behind her. And I was like, there's already so much going on, I'm not gonna do that. But and then just like looking at her, I'm like, what's wrong with her? Why does she look so weird? And I finally figured it out. I made her head really fat. So I thinned her head out and adjusted the arm a bit, because the arm was kind of awkward. So now she looks a little bit less clunky, at least in her head. If I do go back and touch it up, I'm probably gonna thin her hair out too, because there's like a lot of hair there. So yeah, this is the final bit, and next week will probably be Scanlan. I'll see you then.